The pharmaceutical company Gilead Sciences, based in Foster City, California, announced earlier this year results from their Discover trial. This was a phase 3 randomized controlled double-blind study to assess the safety and efficacy of utilizing one of their newer drugs, Descovy, as a new once-daily pill option for pre-exposure prophylaxis for at-risk individuals of HIV infection. This would be coming on the heels of their last product, Truvada. The big difference between these two drugs is that the new drug Descovy uses the compound tenofovir alafenamide, or TAF, while their older product, Truvada, utilized the compound tenofovir disoproxil fumarate. Now, Gilead Sciences has already been in the hot seat with the American public over what is believed to be some extremely excessive price gouging of Truvada. Truvada has a cost of production that equates to approximately $6, but the uninsured cost to consumers by Gilead Sciences is around $2,000 a month. And that is an artificially set price by Gilead Sciences, as they currently own a monopoly over Truvada in the United States of America. And that is due to the legality of patents. As a drug developer, when a drug company or a pharmaceutical organization develops a new drug product, they will generally patent it so that they can make a profit and avoid competition from other industries making generic versions of that product to be released as medicine to the public. For example, in Australia, where generic varieties of the tenofovir treatments for HIV prevention as pre-exposure prophylaxis are available, PrEP can cost individuals in Australia about $8 a month. Now, generally, when pharmaceutical companies get questioned for these massive price markups of their products, the response is, it's for research and development. Drug developers will cite the billions of dollars that they invest in the research and development of new drugs that never comes with a guarantee of a net profit return. And that's due to the nature of science, wherein a lot of times when you invest massive amounts of money in developing drugs, there's a lot of areas where a potential drug can get shut down. However, Gilead Sciences is a bit of a unique situation. And that's because a huge portion of the funding and the research that was conducted for the development of the Truvada products as PrEP was actually done by the United States government and the Centers for Disease Control and was funded by taxpayer money. In fact, the contributions by the federal government and private charities actually equated to over $55 million in the development of this drug. And because federal dollars had been spent in the development of this drug, the Centers for Disease Control actually owns multiple patents protecting Truvada. And this has also left Americans in kind of a confused place because the Centers for Disease Control has not enforced those patents. To date, currently, Gilead has not paid any royalties to the United States government for the sales of Truvada. And so none of the profits of these drugs are being seen by the American taxpayer. Now, Gilead Sciences has come out and publicly claimed that the CDC's patents are invalid. However, reviews from multiple attorneys and Gilead Sciences themselves in their Q2 2017 SEC filings have listed the patents as viable threats. Now, to save face, Gilead Sciences has also done some charitable donations. They've actually agreed to donate for free enough Truvada to cover up to 200,000 patients for 11 years that may need the drug, which sounds like an incredible number, but it is actually less than a fifth of the population that needs the drug. And at the extremely low cost of production, this would actually only cost the company about $10 million versus the $3 billion that they've been bringing in annually. Not to mention that from a business perspective, it will actually benefit the company because this donation will serve as a tax write-off. Now, all of that is your pretty standard at this point corporate greed. Oh, pharmaceutical companies, they want their money, nothing new and exciting there. However, some of the newer allegations that are being made against Gilead Sciences by patients who are trying to sue the pharmaceutical industry are pretty damning. It has come to light that the TDF compound that is found in Truvada does contain some level of toxicity towards kidney and bone health. And so, as a result, Gilead Sciences is proposing this new drug, once daily Descovy, to replace Truvada. Because from the results of their Discover trial, what they have shown is that the Descovy drug that utilizes TAF has been found to be just as effective or no worse off than Truvada at preventing HIV infections. And the Descovy drug uses TAF as their compound instead of TDF for the principal reason that TAF has been found to have lower risk for toxicity results. The TAF compound is much better at getting inside of cells, so the pills can contain lower dosages of that chemical compound, and the lower dosages of that chemical compound have been associated with lower toxins in the bloodstream that could affect the kidneys or the bones. And that was also demonstrated in this study. At a glance, this sounds like good news. Gilead Sciences has gone ahead and sent off this drug for screening by the Food and Drug Administration to hopefully be approved within the next year for use as a once-daily pill for pre-exposure prophylaxis. So where is all the outrage coming from? Well, Gilead scientists had actually published research on the chemical compound TAF as a safer alternative to the chemical compound TDF back in 2001, when TDF had just been approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration. Gilead had even paid doctors to run small clinical trials that found early levels of potential success in using TAF, and the results of those studies were not published for years. Gilead instead publicly announced in 2004 that it was ending research on TAF while continuing to sell drugs that were using the compound TDF that were making them billions of dollars annually. But privately, behind the scenes, Gilead was still applying and making patents on TAF as a chemical compound. Basically, Gilead has been waiting for their patents to run out on their older drugs before they then bring out this molecule that they've been sitting on and saying, hey, we have a safer alternative. Take a look at this. Oh, by the way, we now have a patent over this molecule, which is going to extend our annual billions in revenue for the more foreseeable future. And that is a big no-no. Holding your patents for as long as possible over a product and then doing insane price gouging to maximize your profits in that window of time where you have a monopoly over a drug is already a pretty scummy thing to do. But withholding a safer alternative of a medication that at-risk people need to be taking because you want to hold out for a second round of patent holding and maximizing profits, that is indefensible. So Big Pharma, saving some lives, ruining other lives, but making their own profits. Thank you for watching. Stay inquisitive. Bye.